Look what happens when I try and smile. Is that normal? I don't know what's up with this camera, but my clip from earlier today, I just looked and it's not there. So I'll just do the day 4 update. I spent most of today in bed. I was not feeling good this morning. I felt like I wasn't sleeping enough. I don't know, I felt really emotional. I don't know if it's the painkillers or what, but it felt like freaking, I don't know, depressed. Only pain I'm having is top teeth pain. Top teeth hurt pretty bad. That's the only reason I'm taking painkillers. This just feels pretty stuffed. The only thing that's leaking, so there's a little bit of blood coming out of this one, but out of this nostril there's like this yellow greenish brownish kind of stuff that's coming out that's making me question if maybe I have some sort of infection. Sam thought I felt warm today, which a fever is a sign of an infection, but he went and got a thermometer and we took my temperature and it was normal. So I don't know. I've really just been trying to be super still and not touch it, not mess with it too much. I don't need the drip pad anymore. It'll just drip a tiny bit and I can wipe it off with a Kleenex or something. And I'm just focusing on keeping it moist. And my neck just really hurts from having to sleep in weird positions sitting up. And yeah, I ate dinner just a little bit ago. The black eyes are going down and turning into more green. I didn't do as much icing today. I did some icing last night, but then today I just kind of wanted stuff off my face because it just felt really, I don't know, like I was touching it too much with the ice packs. So I'm gonna ice it again tonight and take a painkiller before I go to bed, because the best way I sleep is if I take a painkiller. And then other than that, my throat being dry is just the most annoying thing when I'm sleeping. I just drink tea all throughout the night, so that helps. Looking scary. I've gotten way swollen down here. Like I already have pretty chubby cheeks, but these are definitely chubbier than normal. And that's how I'm looking. Oh, that's a nice look. I definitely feel better than I look, that's for sure. I keep wanting to yawn, but when you yawn, it like flexes your nose and then it hurts, so then I just stop. Today has been a super chill day. We've literally done absolutely nothing except watch Survivor and sit on the couch. I definitely feel way better today. I didn't take any painkillers. The teeth pain is mostly gone. There's still some sensitivity in like the front 4 teeth. I can move my top lip so much more, and the bruising is definitely gone down. Like it's still there for sure. If anything, I'm more swollen than bruised, but I thought I was gonna get more green or purple bruising down here just because I saw that a lot in other people's videos, but I don't really have any. Oh, maybe I just haven't seen it. Don't really think I have much. All right, actually, now that I'm looking at it, I totally do. Yep, okay, I definitely think I have bruising. There we go, better lighting. I can pretty much breathe. It's just a little bit stuffy, but take a listen to this. I have ointment on my nose. I almost like want to blow my nose so bad because it just feels like there's stuff in my nose, but it's mostly clear, which is like super crazy. It's the gnarliest thing being able to breathe through my nose. It feels like I'm breathing air all the way up to my brain, and the back of my throat like gets cold when I breathe in through my nose, which doesn't normally happen, and that might just be the tubes in my nose. I don't know if that's how I'm gonna breathe forever, but bruising is definitely clearing up. It's just turning into the green, and I just feel really good today. Like it feels like a stuffy nose. The splints kind of just feel like if you ever get a dry nose and you get scabs in them, that's kind of what it feels like. So you don't like want to wiggle your nose too much or move it around or touch it, because then it can like make the scab hurt, if you know what I'm talking about. But in this case it's splints. My nose is pretty clean. I'm sticking Q-tips up my nose with the ointment to just put right in the entrance of my nose. I am by no means sticking it far up at all, but before I do the ointment I usually do like a little sweep around after I do my nasal rinse, just to get the dried blood and stuff out of right here, which I'm hoping is fine because it seems pretty clean right at the entrance of my nose. But there's been more just like clear snot and mucus coming out of my nose today instead of blood or anything green or yellow, which to me is just a good sign that it's healing properly. And technically I was supposed to get my splints out and my cast off either today or yesterday, but because it was the new year and the weekend, they told me when I was scheduling this splint removal appointment, they're like, oh, we're actually gonna have you keep your splints in an extra like 2 days because of just the calendar schedule. And I actually was fine with that because, I don't know, I'd rather have the splints in longer to help it heal more properly with splints than to take them out, and then that would cause more inflation. I just like the extra 2 days of healing, honestly. So I had all day today, and then tomorrow I have a whole day, and then I'll take them out Monday morning at like 10 a.m., which I'm kind of nervous for. My friend said it hurt pretty bad. That was the most painful part of the nose job for her, is what she said, but I've watched so many videos where people just say it feels like a big relief because they're taking all that out. So, and I'm assuming taking off the cast is gonna feel like taking off a band-aid on a sensitive nose, so it's probably gonna hurt. But even if the splints do hurt, my friend said it only hurt for like a few minutes and then it was fine. So anyways, I just look freaking gross and I really want to wash my hair. It's so greasy. I'm able to like totally brush my teeth now and everything. I haven't really eaten anything other than soup still, just because I don't really want to push it and I don't want to have to take painkillers in order to sleep. So that is my update for day 5. I had the surgery Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, so this is day 5 if I'm counting surgery day as day 1. Yeah, feeling pretty good. Good morning. Today is Sunday. I get my cast off tomorrow, which means today's day 6 if I'm including surgery day as day 1. I definitely feel the best so far this morning. I'm really tired. I don't think I'm sleeping super well just because my mouth and throat get so dry as I'm sleeping that I'll like wake up and want to go like make a cup of tea or drink some water or like just be awake and close my mouth for a little bit so that it doesn't stay dry. I'm just waking up a lot, so I feel like I'm definitely gonna take some naps today and just really rest. My nose, there's some stuff going on like right at the entrance, like right here on my left side. It feels like inflamed and maybe a little infected, like as if there was a cut right there or something. So I don't know if when I do a sinus rinse or when I'm putting the swab in my nose, if I like, I don't know, pulled off a scab or something and now it's healing. But I'm happy that I have all day today for my nose to heal up a little bit more before the splints come out tomorrow morning. My eyes definitely look green and gross. They look pretty bad, but they don't feel bad at all. And my nose, really right now, I can barely even tell. It just feels like I have a ton of tape on my nose and that there's something in my nose, but they don't even feel as big as the splints are. It just feels like there's something in my nose. I don't know. But I can still breathe like so well through my nose. I'm very surprised. Take a listen to this. So it feels like I can breathe through my nose and it's just a little bit, I don't want to say stuffy, but like there's mucus in there because there is. You're supposed to try and keep it as wet as possible for it to heal. I'm constantly doing like sinus rinses and then also putting a bunch of ointment up in there. And then I'm sleeping next to a humidifier so it can just stay pretty moist, which is nice. My teeth don't really hurt at all anymore. My front 2 teeth just feel kind of weird, and if I were to like press on them, they kind of hurt. They're just like sensitive or sore. And then the roof of my mouth right behind my front 2 teeth is like numb. It feels like I just came back from the dentist or something, but it doesn't really bother me that much. I just notice it, but it doesn't hurt or anything. I'm just happy of how much better I'm feeling. The swelling's gone down so much. My cheeks are definitely still swollen, but up here the swelling's gone down quite a bit. I was really icing that a ton because it just felt so like big and puffy. My eyelids are just black, but they seem like they're almost back to normal. I actually curled my eyelashes right before this for the first time and I was scared to do it, but it's fine. So I still haven't had much of an appetite. Yesterday I had like a vegan chicken noodle soup thing for lunch, and then after like 9 I just felt like I needed to eat more just to go with antibiotics. I didn't like the idea that I just had like broth and a bunch of antibiotics and stuff in my stomach. I don't know, so I just wanted to make myself eat something more. I really wanted to try chewing stuff and just see how that felt. I had some pieces of dried mango that I like ripped up into small pieces and slowly chewed, and I felt like that was soft and chewy enough to, like, it wasn't a crunch, you know, and I wanted to just take it easy on my teeth. So I still haven't had anything crunchy, and I don't think I'm going to for at least another day or 2. I'm excited to be able to get back to somewhat normal life and like do more stuff or leave the house. I haven't left the house in 6 days. I really want to wash my hair. It's so greasy. I think I might try that today. I've just seen that when some people shower, because of all the steam, their cast will come off while they're in the shower, and I don't want that to happen. I've taken some baths so that I stay clean, and they're actually really nice for the pain and just relaxing, but I haven't washed my hair yet, so I don't know if I'm gonna do that today or if I'm gonna wait till I get my cast off, because my appointment's at like 9 in the morning tomorrow or something like that. So I might just go get the cast off and then shower so I don't have to worry about it. Anyways, I'm excited. But yeah, that's my update for now. Feeling pretty good. I'm so glad that I've felt better after, I think day 3 or 4 was the worst of it, and then I've felt progressively better after that. So feeling pretty good today. Okay, I'm about to go to sleep. We have my doctor's appointment in the morning to get the cast off and the splints out. I took a shower earlier today. I've tried to record this like 4 times, but for some reason my camera like stops recording and saying that there's memory issues. I don't know, I need to figure it out. But anyways, I'm excited to get the splints out tomorrow. Today was so easy. I really didn't feel much at all. It just feels like there's a bunch of tape on my nose and the bruising is clearing up pretty nicely. So I'm really excited to kind of just move on to the next big step, which is get the cast off and the splints out, and I'm hoping that the splints don't hurt too bad. But I'm gonna go take my last antibiotic and head to bed. So good night. It's cast removal day. We're about to head out to go to my appointment to get the splints out and to take my cast off. I did not sleep that much last night, but I feel okay. I think I'm a little bit nervous to get the splints out. I was advised to take a painkiller before, so I just took a painkiller with a protein shake. Hopefully I don't get nauseous. I actually feel kind of nauseous right now, but I just took it, so I know it's not the painkiller. I am almost, I mean, like the bruising's not bad. Like if I put on foundation, probably wouldn't be able to see that much. I say only a few more days till it's totally gone, but I feel pretty good. I've had the most postnasal drip last night and this morning. There's just what looks like bloody snot just going down my throat, which is always fun. But I think it's because last night I did a pretty good sinus rinse to get out all the gunk that I could before the splints came out today. I know a big part of why the splints can hurt is if there's like dried stuff from the splint to your skin and then you rip this splint out, it's like ripping off scabs. So that's why you want to keep it moist all the time, also for it to heal. So I got it super moist. What I was frustrated with though is that my humidifier was not working last night. I tried so many times. I was up like every hour trying to get it to work and it just didn't work. It's a really dumb humidifier. We need to go get a new one. So this morning I got up an hour early and just sat in my bathroom and closed the door and turned on a hot shower, so it was steamy in there. So I sat in there for about 45 minutes with it getting pretty moist, so hopefully that helps. And then I put my ointment in and did another sinus rinse, or I guess I did the sinus rinse and then the ointment. Anyways, I am excited to see what it looks like. I don't really have my hopes up too high for it to look much different. I'll be pleasantly surprised if it does, but I have a feeling it's still pretty swollen. So if it looks about the same, I'm not gonna be too mad. I know the swelling will go down over time. So yeah, I'm just excited. This is literally the first time I've left the house all year. All year. You get it? I look scary with like my nostrils just sticking out. And of course our masks are in the car, so if anyone sees me before then. This is a good time though to get a nose job. I've seen so many people getting nose jobs this whole year because, or this whole last year because of the pandemic. It's a good time to get a nose job. You just have a mask that can cover everything while you're out and about. See, look how nice having a mask is. You can't even tell, huh? Just covers. And it's like a little grip for it, so it doesn't slide down at all. Explain if you can get a free nose job with a deviated septum.
Insurance will pay for breathing stuff. So crookedness on the outside, but just crookedness only, I can sometimes get insurance to cover that.
Right.
If you have like a bump
right.
or tip issues, insurance doesn't care how you look. It only wants you breathing.
Okay.
So yeah, just a crooked exterior, sometimes insurance will cover that.
You heard it here. There it is.
Overwhelmed.
Okay, so
tell me
to
what's
take
about
them out, first I'll tell you every step as we go.
Okay.
First thing I'm just suctioning.
Okay.
So this is loud, but this doesn't hurt.
Okay, cool. And I took a painkiller before. How does it look in there?
You're fine. You look great. Okay. Here's a single stitch holding everything together. So I'm going to cut the stitch, and this part's easy.
Okay. I was wondering if that was a stitch.
And done.
Didn't go.
Now, I'm going to take the left splint out first. It's soft and squishy, but
Yeah.
it's big, so it's awkward as it comes out, but also you get instant relief.
I'm just not
as
going to think
comes
about it.
out.
Okay.
Got it. Let me get some of that junk out of there for you.
Yeah, go for it. It didn't hurt though. Oh, did you see that?
Now, put the right one out.
Okay.
God. Now,
wow.
Section all the goobers out of the inside of your nose.
Wow. Okay.
You all right?
Yeah, no, I'm good. That didn't hurt. It was a lot of pressure. Uh-huh.
This side. Still doing all right? Okay.
Whoa.
You okay?
I'm good. That was intense. Oh my gosh, I
feel a little
can breathe.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think I'm
So now I'm going to peel off the top. It's kind of like peeling a big Band-Aid. So
yeah.
uncomfortable. And as I peel this off, remember the bones are still broken. So even as I'm peeling this off, the nose is still very fragile.
Okay.
So I will be very cautious, and I will remind you to also
Just the face
be very,
wax.
very cautious.
Oh, okay.
Good. Now, as I take this off, your nose will be an interesting combination of swollen and pinched.
Yeah.
So I will warn you,
Not expecting.
try not to look at it too much the first week or two as the swelling goes down.
Yeah, that's what I kind of expected.
And also you're covered with a bunch of slimy adhesive.
Yep. Oh. Whoa.
There you go. I'll get all this stuff off of you. And I'll show it to you. You look great, by the way.
Thank you. Wow. Wow. Oh, my nose feels weirder now than it did before. Wow.
Okay,
Feels like
so
you
this
took-
is just alcohol wipes.
Yeah.
Close your eyes for a second.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
You want to go
yeah,
home and
it's
take a nice
tender.
steamy shower to get all this
yeah.
goo off of you.
Okay. But how do I go about touching my face? Can I wash my face at
You
all?
can wash it very gently, warm
Yeah.
washcloth. I'm actually going to put the
that's so
splint back on your nose.
Yeah, I figured.
Just with tape. But you can take it off, put it back on as you will.
Oh, okay.
But generally, I'd like you to wear it for the next week.
Okay.
It's a great reminder to you and to everybody else
To
not
be
to touch
careful.
this nose.
I was hoping you'd give me at least bandages or something,
Yeah.
so that's good.
Okay. And this is you. So
Oh my
you're
gosh.
swollen. So when you're ready, you can like kind of gush and see this is swollen, this
Yeah.
is swollen on the sides. I've taken cartilage out of here on this side. I've taken the cartilage off the top. I've broken the bones on both sides. So give it some time to settle down. You look great.
Thank
Look right where
you.
You should be.
Oh my gosh.
You have lots of healing to do yet.
My cast is off. That was so nuts and felt so weird, but it really did not hurt. I mean, it kind of hurt a tiny bit, but when you took those things out of my nose, it felt like pulling a booger out of my throat and through my nose. I feel like the kids who would like put ramen down their nose and down their throat and pull it back out. You know what I'm talking about? Like, they know that sensation. Did you ever do that?
Not down my nose.
Or they put it like down their throat and like pull it in and out. Anyways, it felt like that, but it was really big and it was a ton of pressure. Honestly, the most painful part was after he took off the bandage, I felt like my nose immediately just started swelling. I could totally feel where the bone is broken. So it feels like a broken bone in really swollen, I don't know, in a really swollen nose. So it feels like I can move it, and which is kind of freaky, and I'm so glad that I have this little cast thing. But I can take this off and put it on to shower and stuff. But that felt so weird. I was not expecting to like my tip. Like, I wasn't going into this or asking for a rhinoplasty for my tip because I liked my tip. But what he kept saying in my consultations was that on my left side, I have this nice little dip before the tip of my nose, and my right side, it bulged out a little bit more. And I didn't really mind that, and it didn't really bug me. But he just kept saying, oh, I'll just take it out while I'm in there. That way it's just so much more symmetrical and you'll like your nose so much more. And I was like, sure, like, okay, I was mostly worried about the bump. and it looks so good. Like, it's really swollen right now, but it's so cute. Like, it looks like, I don't know. I just look like my nose got a little bit cuter, but it still kind of looks like my nose. I don't know. But it's still so swollen, so it's gonna go down over the next like 3 weeks. But that went way better than I thought it was gonna go, so that's good. Those boogers felt so good to get those out because I can't blow my nose for another week. He was freaking out about how viral that TikTok went. He kept going, how many views does it have? How many views? Okay, we're home now. I haven't shown much other than just face updates this whole time. One, because I just have not been feeling too hot, and honestly I've been on like a freaking bender with all these painkillers, so I literally couldn't remember if I had taken like my antibiotics when I did or not. Like, Sam had to keep track of everything because I just really didn't remember a lot. I was just sleeping and kind of out of it, but I tried to make sure to film at least one thing every day for at least a visual update. So what I wanted to show before I pack it up is the sleeping situation. So I actually do not sleep next to a board game of Blockus. Our friends came over last night and gave us Christmas gifts, and this was one of them. Super messy, but this is just kind of how it really looks, so I'm just gonna show you. The couch is basically just where I've been sleeping. So I had to sleep at least a 30-degree angle, if not more, to just prevent stuff from like pooling and stuff. I actually really like sleeping out on the couch, and so does Sam. Sam actually prefers to sleep on the couch than in bed, so he was super down to sleep out here with me. I told him he could sleep in the other room if he wanted because I was gonna be up every couple hours making tea and stuff, but he was like, no way, I wanna sleep on the couch. Basically all I did was bring out our pillows. We got new bedding very recently, and as I was picking out the bedding, I was thinking about the recovery of the surgery. And honestly, these pillows, this is the Casa Luna set at Target. And these pillows look so smushed right now. I need to fluff them out. But they are the softest, comfiest things ever. And I'm so glad we got them for our bed. Sam and I love using them to just, you know, when you're just chilling in bed, like on your phone or reading a book. These are the best to lean on. I even sleep on them some nights, but they're a little bit more decorative, so I try not to sleep on them every night. However, they're like totally wrecked right now because I slept on them this whole week. They're just really, really soft and squishy. They fluff down a lot. The 30-degree angle, they basically explained is just like they just have like two pillows. I don't know why I'm explaining this so much, but the 30-degree angle, they're like, use a pillow or two. So I used these two pillows, and then I also used my neck pillow, which really helped me not turn side to side. This is like our airplane neck pillow, and it's actually like higher than a regular one, so it kind of goes all the way up to your cheeks. I actually ended up just sleeping on it open like this, and this like really just cradled my neck really nicely, so I didn't really have an urge to turn to the side at all because it just kept me in there. I don't know. I've been sleeping okay. Last night I only got like 3 or 4 hours. My favorite part about the bed setup, even though the pillows are super comfy, has been this table over here. It took me like a night or two to perfect everything that I wanted. We did not have a humidifier, but the doctor told us we needed one, so Sam bought one as soon as we got home from the hospital, and it has been a bitch to work with. It does not work very well at all. And then I've had this tea set up next to me. So the first night or 2 nights, I didn't have this electric kettle. I just had my normal kettle on the stove, and it's kind of small, and it takes it's cast iron, so it takes a second to heat up, and once it heats up it stays hot for a while, which was nice, but it would only pour like 2 cups of tea. So my first night when I was the most miserable, I was getting up literally every 2 or 3 hours, going over there, filling up the tea kettle, waiting for it to boil, pouring a cup, drinking it. It was just a lot of work having to get up and go back and forth and heat tea, which tea for me I think was the most useful thing in my recovery. Just personally, it just soothed my throat so much, and that was the most painful thing when it came to sleeping and what would wake me up. I'd wake up like coughing because it was scratchy or whatever. I came up with the idea, if I just have an electric tea kettle, I can literally lean over while I'm in bed, have it boil. It'll be faster than waiting for it to boil on the stove. So anyways, that was a game changer for me. It was like 20 or 30 bucks at Walmart. I'm probably gonna return it now that I can breathe through my nose and I don't need it, but that was super helpful to just have my tea right next to me so I didn't have to get up out of bed. And then then I just have my arnica and my painkillers and my antibiotics near me. I made sure before I took any painkillers to ask Sam when the last time I took one was, so I wasn't taking more than one. And I could take up to 2. It said you could take 2 every 6 hours, but I never took more than 1 within a 6-hour period. And then I just have this gross trash can down here. Those are Sam's Christmas socks that he got yesterday. This is pretty gross. But I just have this trash can down here, and then I have a mirror, and then I had this box. This was full of Q-tips. It's empty now. And then my ointment and stuff was just like all right here at all times. So in the middle of the night, if I needed to reapply ointment, if I could tell that it was getting dry or something, I had the mirror for ointment, and then I had so many Q-tips, and I would just toss it all in that little trash can down there. Now that Sam and I are gonna move back to the bedroom, I'm just still gonna put up a wall of pillows between us because there have been so many times that Sam has accidentally bonked my face while he's sleeping. So I need to make sure that that does not happen. On another note, we still have our Christmas tree up, and we got a real one this year, and it's so cute. It's honestly perfect. I love it so much. I'm so happy that we went and chopped one down, but it's actually like growing. Like, look at all of this light green stuff is just all new. It's like thriving in our apartment. I was not expecting this. We did a lot of research to figure out how to make sure that it didn't dry up, but it not only did it not dry up, it's literally growing. Like, we're growing a Christmas tree in our apartment, and I kind of want to keep it for as long as we can. Which I also think is really good humid wise, because we put in like a gallon of water every day to keep it hydrated. So it's gotta be like emitting that, I don't know. I love it. I just think it's so funny that we're actually growing a Christmas tree. We're not just like keeping it alive. I'm gonna do my first nasal rinse since getting my cast off this morning. I definitely should have done one earlier. I just have not, but I have been keeping it moist with my ointment. This is my sinus rinse. You gotta fill it up with like filtered water, not tap water, and then warm it up in the microwave. And then you put the saline thing in there, and then you put the squirty lid on, and then you shake it a little bit, and then it's good to go. My nose feels so weird. My right side's like plugged up. I can't breathe in through it, probably just because of swelling, I'm hoping. Oh, I look pale. Goes in so smoothly now, but I'm not getting any in the back of my throat, so I wonder if I should like tilt more. Okay, that side I definitely felt in the back of my throat, but it was a nice just little run of salt water. I didn't even feel any boogers. So this one might be way more blocked than I'm thinking it is. Okay, so what I'm noticing that's most different, I think, is the tip. It seems more round and big, so like swollen probably. There still is a little bit of a bump to the side, which I saw today in the appointment, which like kind of concerned me, but I'm also like, I know that that's where the work was done and it's really swollen. So his literal one job was to remove the bump. So I think it's gonna be gone. He says there's a lot of swelling to go down to not look at my nose too much at all. It is so weird looking at myself in the mirror. But this is the side profile. And then this side. What do y'all think? It's crazy, but I feel it more when I don't have the cast on. I can feel the bones moving more. So I'm gonna put the cast back on. That is so nuts. And look how like much more even my nostrils are.